Hello everyone, thank you so much for joining me on today's video. Today I will be budgeting out this week's paycheck, which is $523.18. If you are new, welcome. My name is Alex. I'm a single mom to one beautiful daughter named Savannah. She is 12 years old and I'm 32 years old, and we live in the state of Wisconsin. I'm currently saving up for a house. I'm an independent contractor. I shop and deliver groceries to customers, so if you're a gig worker, you could probably relate to my budget. My paychecks are very inconsistent, and that's why I love using the cash envelope system to help me budget out each week's paycheck. Helps me stay on track. Honestly, this method has helped me save the most amount of money so far, so I hope to inspire others to try out the cash envelope system if you have not yet, or just make a budget plan in general. All right, let's get started. So as you guys might notice, I did switch some things around. I am using a thicker marker. Thank you so much for the suggestions in the comments. If there is something that I could, change possibly, let me know. Obviously you guys are the ones who watch my videos, so let me know if you can't see something or just making a suggestion. I love the feedback. So I'm using a thicker marker. I hope you guys can see everything, and I'm gonna use my calculator on this side. Hopefully you can see it a bit better. So let me know in the comments. All right, so let's get started. This week's paycheck, $523.18. I will be transferring $78.47 into a savings account strictly for our house. This is 15% of my paycheck. I do this every single week. I'm left with $444.71. And then I get paid weekly, so I have to figure out what my bills are weekly, which is $253. So after I subtract my bills, I'm left with $191.71. I'm sorry, you probably hear my ice maker in the background. I apologize. So $191.71 to work with this week. So watch me figure out how I would like to utilize that money this week. Now, these are all my categories that I have in my wallet and my binders, and then everything off to the left right here is the amount of money that I currently have in each envelope. And this kind of helps me determine where I need my money the most. And then if you are new, my bills are listed off to the left right here. If you are curious, number one questions I get: why is your rent so low? And how come you don't have a category for food? And that is because I do receive assistance for food, and I also live in low-income housing, and that is why my rent is so low. All right, so let's get started with the budget. $191, that's a good chunk of money to work with this week. My last couple of paychecks have been quite low, so I am very excited. So I want to make sure I top off gas. I used quite a bit of gas this week. I had more orders, so I have $44 left in gas. Easy peasy to figure out how to reach 100, and that would be 66. So I'm going to subtract $66. I have $125 left within the budget now. I like to give myself $20 per week, so I will give myself 20. I currently have $135. I have $105 left in the budget, and then I like to give my daughter $5 per week for chore money. Now I have $100 left over. I like to put $20 every week into family fun, currently at $0. $80 left within the budget. And then I try to always put $20 into vacation every single week, so I reach $1,000 at the end of the year. So after that, I am left with $60. And then usually I like to put at least a little bit of money into household and beauty. Household does have $24 right now, but I'm still going to add $10 into household, and I will add $6 into beauty. So I have $44 left. Next up would be clothing for Savannah. I kind of had to abbreviate everything since I'm trying to write bigger, so I might have to abbreviate certain categories. So her clothing envelope has $68 in there right now. And then a subscriber actually sent me money and she wrote a comment, for Savannah's shoes or whatever else. But I do definitely want to honor that. But actually, so if you guys send me money through YouTube, I actually have to wait for that paycheck, if that makes sense. So I currently don't have the money, but I am going to use my paycheck to make sure that my daughter has $100 in her clothing envelope so we can go and get some shoes for her. So that means I would need $32 to reach 100. So I have $12 left within the budget. And my daughter actually has a field trip that's coming up semi-soon, so I will add in $12 into her envelope. She currently has 10. I want to say it's almost like $25 or $30. They're going to the zoo. I can't remember how much it is, so I will have to double check how much it is, but adding that remaining $12 will definitely help out. So I am just going to recalculate everything, make sure the math is mathing. All right, 191. Well, that pretty much wraps up today's video. Thank you so much for all the love and support on my channel. I appreciate you guys. All of the comments and likes are very much appreciated. Thank you so much. And the donations as well. I've received 2 donations so far. I definitely do not expect that, but thank you so much for that. It really helps me out as a single mom. So thank you. And if you want to hang out just a little bit longer, I will insert a clip of everything I spent this week as a single mom. All right, you guys, see you in the next one. Bye. Hey guys, this is everything I bought this week as a single mom of 1 kiddo who is 12 years old. So I ended up spending $30.15 at Pick and Save. This is definitely not a part of our meals. I ended up just going there to pick up some good deals that were going on. I ended up getting 3 boxes of cereal, $1.99 each. My daughter picked up this one, Cocoa Pebbles. I picked out Marshmallow Fruity Pebbles. And then we needed something at least a little bit healthy, so we got Honey Bunches of Oats. And then certain chips were 4 for $10, so we took advantage of that deal also. We bought 2 bags of Sun Chips, Harvest Cheddar, Doritos, and dill pickle chips. And then lastly, we picked up some cotton candy grapes. I was shocked to find out this ended up being like $9. I almost put it back, but my daughter and I were really looking forward to cotton candy grapes, so we ended up buying them. And then if you guys are still on the hunt for Bub's candy, they actually have them at Pick and Save, and they are priced way better. They're $2.99 each. At Walgreens, I believe they're $4 each. And then they were also on sale at Pick and Save when I went, 2 for $5. So that was a pretty good deal. I didn't get any because I already bought some, but it's way better to get them at Pick and Save. And then I also had a Walmart delivery. I spent $27 even at Walmart. I bought 3 bags of romaine lettuce, 4 avocados, 4 tomatoes and 2 limes, 2 red onions, one yellow onion, which is interesting because I did not buy any yellow onions. So I'm pretty sure what ended up happening was an employee that was shopping this order might have put this in the wrong basket for like a different customer, if that makes sense. And now I feel bad because a customer is like wondering where their onion is, and I have it. So I guess one free onion for me. Provolone cheese, heirloom blue corn tortilla chips, white bread, and then I am replacing my emergency pizza again. We tend to have a pizza if we don't eat out for the week. This is kind of like our idea of like eating out if we don't, if that makes sense. Marinara sauce. And then I also got this cute little note, I'm assuming from the driver. We're falling for you. Let us know how you feel about our service today. Please leave a 5-star review by clicking at the bottom of your receipt email. And then a candy was taped to this. So I know you probably shouldn't have candy from strangers, but I'm definitely gonna eat this for sure. And then Walmart was actually out of cucumbers. I usually get 3 cucumbers per week, so I might have to run to the store and get some cucumbers. But in total, I spent $57.15 on food this week, but I'll probably spend $59.15 on food because I'll pick up 3 cucumbers. So I did go over budget for food this week, but that's okay because there are plenty of weeks where I'm under budget. And I do have a lot of extra money on my card as well. So I did go over budget this week for food, but I was kind of expecting that since I did get some deals at Pick and Save on all that cereal and all the chips that obviously we're not going to eat that all in a week, so that'll be probably good for like a whole month for us. So next week I will probably spend way less money on groceries. It'll all even out. You're also probably wondering where's my protein for this week, and that is because I have a ton of leftover spicy chicken that I made in the crock pot, so we will be eating that up this week. And then I ended up going to Dollar Tree. I spent $5.25. I went in there because I needed some wet wipes, and unfortunately I couldn't find a huge pack of them. But I did find these super cute mini ones, which is funny because I know these are kind of super hard to find at Dollar Tree right now because they're so popular. These are super cute, but it's not a great price because you only get 20 wipes in this little container versus I typically go for the ones that have 40 or 50, but most of the time, usually they have like 30 count containers. But I will admit, these are super cute. So I got one for myself and one for my daughter. And then of course I bought some stuff that I probably don't necessarily need, but I got these eyeglass pouches, but I'm gonna put sunglasses in them. I got one for myself, the black one is for me, and this pink one is for my daughter, of course. She loves pink. I thought these would be a good idea to have versus like a hard case because it'll take up less space and it's not as clunky and probably not as heavy as well. So this week in total, I spent $118.12, $57.15 on food, $5.25 on beauty items. That's all the items I got at Dollar Tree. And then $55.72 on gas. So a grand total again, $118.12. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!